What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself, coming to you guys today with a quick live feed I want to have in regard to. I know a lot of people have heard about President Biden just signed his legislation. Well, not legislation, just signed in effect his student loan forgiveness plan. You know, that was one of his main platforms that he was running for in his campaign for presidency in regards to student loan forgiveness. So it's finally come to fruition. You've had since the beginning of the pandemic, there have been student loan payment pauses, and that's been what since March or May 2020. So the actual final plan is laid out today. President Biden gave it out, and I just want to go over with you guys in regards to that. First, you guys know I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. You know Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. We talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, real estate investing, and business. Stream live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn and Twitter. But again, we're talking about the student loan forgiveness plan 2022. You guys, I don't know how many people. I think it's estimated 43 or 34 million Americans that actually have been impacted by student loan debt. Y'all, forgive me. I don't know if you guys might hear my dog barking in the background when my kids got my dog out, but I'm sorry about that. But with that, I think estimated 34 or 43. I know I got maybe inverted. Million Americans actually are affected by student loan debt, and I just want to have the live feed explain to you exactly what President Biden went over today. One of the key components is what they said. What was given is it was up to $10,000. This the key. This is the thing about it is the up to. No definite dollar amount is given. It's up to $10,000 of federal student loans is will be forgiven. Up to $10,000. What determines the up to and everything, I don't know. One key thing: the application is not available right now, but by law it has been said they will be available no later than December 31st of this year, December 31st, 2022. The actual forgiveness application will be available. So that's not even created yet. But it's up to $10,000 for federal student loans and up to $20,000 if you receive Pell Grants. Again, what determines the up to? That's not stated, but it's saying that that's how much can be forgiven. Up to $10,000 in federal student loans and up to $20,000 if you receive Pell Grants. Okay, another thing is this is a key component that this is available to anyone that makes less than 100. A single person making less than $125,000 a year, and that is doubled if you're a married couple. That being $250,000 or filing head of household. That means you file and you have a dependent. Again, that's 125. That's the cap for the income that you can make. $125,000 for an individual, $250,000 for a couple, or someone filing head of household. Okay. One key thing is this is unfortunate. No private loans are forgiven. Excuse me. So if you got got a student loan from a bank, credit union, some kind of private institution, the loan isn't forgiven. It's just for federal student loans. Okay, federal backed student loans, and they are actually having, they maybe have make some revisions to that or not. But as of right now, if you receive any kind of private student loans, it's not eligible for it. Parent Plus wasn't stated in the actual press conference, but I've been looking up different documents to find out if it was included. Some saying possibly, some saying yes, some saying no. I don't know for sure. Parent Plus is actually any additional amount that a parent may sign for their child receiving a student loan. Would that be forgiven up under that? That's not. I'm not for sure of that. But if I find anything, I will definitely let you guys know. But again, definitely the up to $10,000 for federal student loans, up to $20,000 if you receive the Pell Grant. All debt payments are paused to the end of the year, to December 31st. All debt payments, and that's it really makes sense. Whether just thinking about it in regards to how the application is available, it needs to be available. It's stated it will be available before the end of the year. So right now, debt payments are still paused. If you still want to make payments towards your student loan debt, as always, you still can, but I'm sorry. I was looking at one of the questions. I'll come with you 1 second. those are actual amounts in regards to the debt payment. That application will be available by the end of the year, but the payments are still paused. I got a question here. Kerry Washington, how do you find out if you had a Pell Grant? You should know if you had a Pell Grant. You can even look whoever you're paying the student loans to. They should be able to let you know if you received a Pell Grant. Whoever the company that you received the student loan from, they should be able to state. Or you can reach out to the institution that you went to the school and reach into their financial and reach out to their financial aid office, and they should be able to let you know for a funding perspective. X amount of dollars were paid by student loans, X amount of dollars were received from federal Pell Grants. So, and the actual company that gave you student loans, they wouldn't know. I'm thinking about it, but I definitely know the institution that you went to school at. They will know. You can reach out to the financial aid office, to the college that you went to, whatever the institution is. They should be able to let you know how your education was funded, be it from private loans, federal backed student loans, or from Pell Grants, the financial aid office. And I know some schools have different names with some of them, with some of the offices with that, but pretty much where the loans are paid, that will be stated at. They should be able to give you any kind of information in regards to your federal student loans. I mean, if you receive Pell Grants or not. See what we got right here. Patriot Pete. Do not know where that's Biden's getting off. I don't know whether that's what Biden gets off thinking he can forgive student loans. I did not see anything about forgiving the Bible. That's for another conversation right now. So let's keep it what we're talking about student loans right now. Patriot Pete, I appreciate you tuning in. Mix ZP. Hold on 1 second. Mix ZP question. So hypothetically, the cancellation would be applicable one or the other based on the perimeter given. I have received Pell Grant in the past as well as subsidized loans. Again, the question is again, hypothetically, the cancellation will be applicable one or the other based on the perimeter given. That I don't know. They just really say it up to. Be it strictly based off income, be it on a sliding scale or some kind of progression scale. They didn't state that. They just pretty much say it up to. I'm pretty sure in the next couple coming weeks, definitely next month or so, they will give better language out in regards to how much, but exactly what the specifics for it, that wasn't given out today. Let me see right here. Thank you, Malone. Over 12 years old. Let me get on top of this. Okay, cool. I have some more information there in regards to the year of the loan. Kerry Washington states, thank you. My loans are over 12 years old. Let me get on top of this. And back what we said, Patriot Pete. Hope when Trump is president again, he will unforgive the loans and make everyone pay them back. Okay, Patriot Pete. I'm about to give you a hug, brother. And back at Mexican Pete. That's what I was thinking also. Okay, cool. Let me see if anything on the actual TikTok or anything in regards to Instagram. No, I don't see anything right now. One thing I do want to bring back to you guys in regards to the point that Kerry Washington had about hers being over 2 years or 10 years old. A key component is that anything, let me go back to my notes I had here. Loan balances, and this is regards to the actual proposed repayment plan, because again, you do have some people will qualify for the 10, some the 20,000, but we pretty much know for the most part, if you went to any kind of institution, you're gonna have student loan debt usually over $10,000 or $20,000 regardless. So what the Department of Education, they do have a proposed repayment plan that isn't set in stone as of right now. But some of the provisions of the proposed repayment plan, borrowers only have to pay 5% instead of 10% of their discretionary income. That being discretionary income, you'll submit the paperwork showing what you're making, your actual living expenses, and whatever left over. It can only be only 5% of that discretionary income. Okay, so they kind of help you from a cash flow perspective in regards to how much you have to pay back. This is the proposed repayment plan. Going back to the point what Ms. Washington was just stating, loan balance forgiveness after 10 years will be forgiven after 10 years instead of 20 years. It used to be they had a conversation forgiving your loan after 20 years, now it's 10 years. So if you got 12 years old, it's time to have a conversation. But it has to be $12,000 or less. So again, they're having a conversation where you can get a loan under 10 years, but that's for balances over $12,000 or less. And that's pretty much kind of will cover most people that have educations, maybe junior college, but probably definitely from like your technical schools and anything like that. Most of them won't be too much past that. The total may be around at $20,000, but if you have anything, that's under $10,000, you went to a tech school, that probably clear you out if it's under 12 years. So again, under 10 years. So again, loan forgiveness begins at under 10 years instead of before where it was 20 years, but it's $12,000 or less. Again, and the third thing is non-discretionary income is redefined. This is a good part right here, guys. Non-discretionary income is redefined. No borrower earning under 225% of the federal poverty level will have to make any loan payments. Okay, again, what they're saying is by being redefined, non-discretionary income being redefined, no one has to make it under 225% of the poverty line will have to pay. That's pretty much like $15 an hour, okay, from a mathematical standpoint. So if you're making $15 an hour or less, you don't have to make any federal loan payments, which, if you probably in the bind we have to do that, you probably won't be able to do it anyway. So that's one of the things, that's a good provision with that, okay? If you're making $15 an hour or less, you don't have to make any payments, okay? Now, if it does improve, again, and then how would they know it improved? Probably from your federal tax filing. Everybody's working in conjunction together. If you show any kind of income with your tax filing, that will be different than that. That's probably when the issue will come up. So be very, very careful because, again, you have these different things popping up. I just want you guys to be careful. You don't do it, the wrong way, okay? We talk about it all the time. Make sure we're doing everything the right way. Kara White says, I wish my balances were that low. Thank you for the heads up. No problem. But again, the language they're giving, all the up to and and the roundabout stuff, nothing definitive has been given out. I think a lot of this stuff is political in regards to say, hey, listen, this is what we're going to present. This is what we're going to give to the American people. This is to benefit everybody. But specifics will be coming out probably in the next couple of weeks. I would imagine probably the laid out plan will be, presented before the end of September. So that's when everybody can kind of definitively see that. Plus the repayment plan that should be laid out also in regards to that, because it was just a proposal what was given out. With that, let me see what we got here. Mix CP. Question regarding the public service loans. I reached out to my lender and student aid, but no one is able to give me an answer. This one expires 11/31/22, but can't get general any guidance. That's a good question. The question in regards to just for public service being educators, people in law enforcement, I'm trying to think law enforcement, maybe any kind of civil service, maybe firefighters, etc. They have student loan forgiveness for people working in public service. I was just reading the language on that. It's still, everything's not defined. So it should be encompassed with that. How much they're going to do cover that, I don't know. But I will tell you this, even with that one you said expires on 11/31/22, I will, again, because everything isn't definitive in regards to that, and I know I'm not helping you that much, but that was one thing I was just looking over. And I'm not going to put out information that I'm not for sure of. I probably cross-referenced it with at least 2 or 3 different information bases that be, different sites or whatever. And I try to go with, more the solid information sources. But anyway, the for the public service loans, it's not defined, but I read a couple of them say it should still fall up under that. How much they will cover, or whether they will forgive all of it or not, no definite answer. But again, I would assume, and I'm probably sure that by the end of September, all the language in regards to how the money is forgiven, cap amounts, how it's calculated, loan forgiveness for public service, I'm sure everything will be laid out by the end of next month. Again, when I run across information, I'm going to make sure I push it out to you guys. I like to just give you guys the general information that I ran across, again, that I've cross-referenced to make sure everything's fine. But as of right now, that hasn't been given out. But again, when I find out, I will let you guys know in regards to that. That's a good question in regards to public servants. Yeah, here, Erica Hagler. What do I apply for the loan forgiveness? So you just came in a little late. Again, as far as applying for student loan forgiveness, the application isn't out yet. It will be out no later than December 31st, 2022. Did that mean it'll be out by the end of this month or, in the next month? I don't know. But with that said, you don't have to make any loan payments. The actual the loan payment pause is extended to the end of the year, to the end of December. So while that's getting done, all that language is getting taken care of, the laws and everything's getting set up, you don't have to make any payments till then. So again, it's stated it will be out no later than December 31st, 2022. Once it comes out, you can apply then. I would probably, I think it's safe to assume that they won't put the application out until they get all the different provisions and everything together first, before they start pushing out to anybody again, because that repayment plan that I just stated before, that's just a proposal. I would assume they will have all that stuff taken care of before they put the application out, so they can have these different provisions that you can choose on that application to take advantage of that. Okay, let me see. Has anybody got any other questions or anything like that? Anyone got any questions? Again, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You guys know the main hub for Mr. Short Dollar is on the YouTube channel. We have over 400 videos on the YouTube channel. Yep, 400 videos on the YouTube channel. We got a grants playlist with over 150 grant opportunities on the grants playlist. Sorry, I had a long day, guys. I'm getting brain cramps. We cover everything from business operations, business management, business finances. Again, the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. So regardless of what you're looking at, appreciate you tuning in. But go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel to take advantage of all the great information we currently have on the channel and all the good information we have coming down the pipe. See if I got anybody else got any questions. Let's see if you had anything else. I don't see anybody else with any questions. Again, we're just talking about President Biden just gave his whole plan out in regards to student loan debt forgiveness. This is, something been going on. This is one of the initial items that he ran for with his election. And I think the pandemic threw a big, gigantic monkey wrench into a lot of plans in regards to that, because he had to restructure everything, take consideration the COVID relief plans and the different stimulus payments and everything. That changed a lot of fiscal policies, a lot of budgeting things around. So I think this had to be taken into consideration with that, especially with the Inflation Reduction Act that he just signed into effect a couple weeks ago. So all that taking consideration, I think this is probably why this is coming now. But since the pandemic started, there has been a pause on student loan payments, on student loan repayments. So again, guys, it's going to come. It's stated that it is going to come to an end at the end of this year. The application, everything should be out in the next month or so, maybe out next week, but I doubt it. I would assume probably before the end of next month, the application, all the provisions and everything should be stated out with that. Again, that's $10,000 federal loan, up to remember that key word, up to $10,000 federal loan, student loan forgiveness, up to $20,000 if you receive a Pell Grant. Cap, the income cap is $125,000 if you're single, $250,000 if you're married or head of household. Okay, and let me see anything else. Got anybody else reaching out? Mix ZP, thanks for kindly for your hub of communication with the recent update. Much appreciated. My pleasure. I appreciate you tuning in. Couple quick things. Let me see if I got anything right here. Kerry Washington. So if Pell Grant is not repayment, how does that play into this now? Well, the Pell Grant is just, you don't have to. They're saying if you receive a Pell Grant, you can be forgiven up to $20,000, but you don't have to pay. I'm not sure that's what you're asking. You don't have to pay. The Pell Grant is just given to you. But I'm thinking they're just basing that off of if you received a Pell Grant, and you typically receive a Pell Grant in addition to a student loan based off your income. They're probably saying if that was the case, they're going to increase the amount of money that you can be forgiven, because that particular time that you received the loan, you're probably in a different income situation or financial situation to do that. So I think that's just that's probably the reasoning behind that in regards to increasing the amount if you received a Pell Grant. But again, and I thought it was a great question you had earlier. Who do you reach out to find out? Because again, if you've been out of school X amount of years, we can look at online, maybe see the exact dollar amount that we received or we were paying in student loan debt, but the actual Pell Grant amount, you may not remember, but you probably reach out to whatever institution that you went to school at, and their financial aid office probably can let you know. What's that? The financial aid or Bursa office at the school? They probably can let you know how their money was distributed. I hope I answered your question with that, Ms. Washington. I hope I did. Not for sure. Let me see if there's anything else. Check these other platforms, guys. Tomorrow we're having Mr. Short Dollar. That's the weekly show. We have, I have 2 YouTube channels, Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden, which is a motivational channel. We talk about family, life stuff, and everything like that. And then my other channel, Mr. Short Dollar, which I'm on right now. We have our weekly show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's every other Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow we're talking about emotions and money. And the basis of the show going to be tomorrow night is depicting on, how we move in regards to money. When we want money, when we don't have money, when we're afraid of money, when we feel we should have more money, we feel like we don't have enough, or we feel like that person got too much money and you should have more than them. Whatever the reason, we're going to touch base in regards to that, because I think a lot of people from a financial standpoint, even an entrepreneurial standpoint, we get out of using logic in regards to how certain things are set up. Because sometimes we look at, well, how's that business doing this? I'm doing this. I'm working twice as hard, but they're making 3 times as much money. And sometimes it may just be something that has nothing to do with anything that you're doing or they're doing. It just may be demand, maybe what's going on in the economy or whatever. But everybody receives different things differently. Especially what I'm talking about from a financial standpoint. You may feel like you haven't reached where you should be in life, especially when we look at peers or coworkers and things like that. And we're going to have that conversation, because far too often, you guys know I'm an accountant by profession. I see a lot of people moving from an impulsive standpoint. And we even seen that going back to the with the PPP loans and the idle loans. Even when people got those cash infusions with that, just say legitimately, you got your cash infusion, not knowing strategically, because certain things were set in place like business plans and budgets, and just spending on impulse. And what happened is, you fast forward a year and a half later, the money gone, if that long. So we're just going to have a conversation tomorrow, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Dollar Hour. That's my finance show for Mr. Short Dollar every other Thursday. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be talking about money and emotions, okay? So I hope you guys tune in. I know you guys are going to make sure you tune in. Again, we're going to be still streaming live from Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Remember, Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel is the main hub. Make sure you guys check out all the videos there. We got, playlists for business, playlists for entrepreneurs, playlists for financing, a playlist for grants. I know I'm forgetting something. I got live interviews that I did when I did speaking engagements. I got all those different playlists. Plethora of information, an abundance of information you guys take advantage of. Young lady called me today. She said she want to do a consultant appointment. All my contact information is in the description section of the videos on Facebook and YouTube, because I have the links there. But I told I could save you a little money, but I don't need to bill you to do a consultant appointment, because I'm Mr. Short Dollar, I ain't Mr. Cheap Dollar. But check out these videos first before you even book an appointment. Check out these videos. You got all these videos out there. It's free information. I don't think you're gonna spend a little time checking out the videos. And if you don't find the information you're looking for on the videos I have out there for free, then you can call me and book an appointment, okay? But all my contact information is on the YouTube channel, listed on the in the description section of the YouTube channel. So we got Ms. Washington got a question. So the Pell Grant doesn't require repayment. How does this play into this now? Well, I don't think the Pell Grant doesn't require. The question is, if the Pell Grant does not require repayment, how does this play into this now? The reason that they're looking at the Pell Grant, because for you to receive a Pell Grant, typically you got to be in a lower financial situation. I don't know the income. I don't know the number amount at a particular time you receive the grant. For you to receive a Pell Grant, everything's based off income. They say you're making a certain dollar amount, you can qualify for the student loan, but you may not get a Pell Grant. I'm assuming that basing the point of it is with the Pell Grant amount, you don't have to pay the Pell Grant back, but they're just saying that if you receive the Pell Grant at that particular time for you to receive it, they're saying you might have been in a more dire financial situation at that particular time, so it's just increasing the amount you have to pay back. So that's pretty much what I'm just looking at with that. Not the total amount that you receive, be it Pell Grant or loan payment, just for the simple fact you received it, they're increasing the amount that you can be forgiven. Okay. All right, got you. Got you. Makes sense. I appreciate it. But I'll make sure. I hope I wasn't talking too fast. I see my sister a little bit. Just tuned in. What's going on, sis? Let me see if anybody else got any questions. Glad to answer your question too. Anybody else got any questions? With that, I had a glitch on one of my phones yesterday, so I meant to do a live feed, guys. You know, I'm an accountant by profession. I've been in business. This is my 21st year in business with my company, Majestic Business Services. We're a business service firm. We do bookkeeping, tax prep, payroll, consulting, pretty much one-stop shop for small businesses. I created if you want to start your own tax business course 2 years ago, and I was just promoting. I was going to do a live feed for it yesterday. I got tied up. I'm not going to do one tonight. May want to do one on Friday, start pumping that with it. Guys, I'm not one of those people to tell. I've been in the game 21 years. I ain't finna sit here, and the reason why I've been able to grow, because I always like to be straight up with people and be honest with folks. I make a decent chunk of change. I made a decent amount of money over the years, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're going to be able to make $1 million tax business in 1 year. You know when the hell you're going to be able to do that, unless you're doing some stuff that's going to have the feds knocking on your door, right? So, but you can't, it's a great business, but what I'm giving you guys in regards to the course is my blueprint in regards to starting it, having that staggered approach, selling my system in regards to intake, processing, outtake, year-round marketing calendar, building your practice up. So by year 3 or 4, you can be sitting there saying, okay, we're making 6 figures. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about certain things. A lot of times people selling on stuff on money they ain't never made. And if you really have been through it and stuff to do it, realistically it's not that, because if you have in any kind of entrepreneurship, you guys would know, when you start your business off, the easiest thing to do is start the business off. You got your LLC, tax ID number, bank account, payroll, payment options, PayPal, Stripe, whatever. That's the easy part. The hard part is get customers, because once you start posting and selling your product or selling your service, whatever you're doing, you post and letting people know. And that's when things kind of change, because everybody got that new business. I'm proud of your energy, but everybody's not going to support your business. That doesn't mean that they don't care about you. That don't mean they don't love you. They may not necessarily, need your service. They may not necessarily be comfortable with you knowing certain things about that, about them. And I can just say that with me being an accountant in the tax business, my first 4 or 5 years, I probably had a handful of close family members and friends that came to do business with me, even though they knew I was an accountant. And I think most of it had to do because they didn't want me to know their personal business, which I understand. You might feel some type of way the first couple of years, but again, now you're sitting there looking like, hey, nobody supporting me. But what I mean by that is, a lot of people sell to you, you get X amount of people, charge this and make X amount of dollars. That's right. That math is right. But how are you going to get them X amount of people? Because you posting on social media, you giving out some flyers, they ain't going to come to you. And plus, you got to make sure you charge the right amount of money to stay in the business. So again, I will be doing a promo video in that, and I'll be doing a couple live feeds, ask you guys questions in regards to how to start your own tax business. But again, once you tune in, I'll be able to answer all your questions in regards to starting that business and be honest with you about that, because I've seen tons, and if anybody been following me for the past 5, 6 years, we had a channel. I don't talk about other people's business. I don't talk about folks and what they did or didn't, because I'm cool. And when I say cool, I mean we established we're fine. But I'm real funny about selling dreams and putting out false information and giving folks high hopes. That's why I've been around so long. So I'm not gonna be sitting here telling you can be making millions of dollars or 6 figures starting off and everything like that. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it realistic? Absolutely not. To be able to do that. But if you stay in the game and give yourself a gradual plan to be doing it each year, first year learning, second year growing, third year you kind of right where you want to be, and by that 4th, 5th year, you can be, you'll be real comfortable. But it's not one of those fly by night businesses. It's an easy business to do if you got the right plan. Okay, but I will be doing that feed probably Friday in regards to that. Let me see. I got Shawnette Martin. How you doing? Does the forgiveness apply to those who have consolidated their loans? I don't think consolidation has the question again was, does the forgiveness apply to those who have consolidated their loans? I don't think the consolidation applies, more so who is it consolidated with. If you've moved it over to a private lender, again, they've stated private loans will not be forgiven. So if you consolidated with a private lender, that being a bank, credit union, private financial institution, they won't be forgiven. But if it's done in conjunction with one of those federal student loan programs, you should be fine. But they have stated that loans from private lenders will not be forgiven. Again, we were asked earlier in regards to people that had the public service loan grants. I hope I'm stating it right. The language still coming out. Again, once I find out definitively the parameters, what they're going to say, if anybody did any kind of public service, they got student loans that are working in public service now. As far as that loan forgiveness program, I will make a video and let you guys know that. Ms. Martin, I hope I answered your question with that. That was a good question, but I think, but they have stated clearly if it's done in a private institution, they're not forgiving it in regards to that. Got any other questions? Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Dollar Hour again, Emotions and Money. Make sure you go again to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take advantage of all the great information there. Again, people follow us a lot. Hey, we got information on grants. Give me some stuff on grants. Man, I got a whole lot more information than grants, okay? A lot of great information there, from pricing, break-even analysis, information as far as structures and stuff. I got a very big background in finance, analytics, quantitative background. I got a master in supply chain. So I know a whole lot about business, okay? And a whole lot about business efficiency, business effectiveness, and stuff like that. And we put a lot of the information on the YouTube channel. And I know you hear about 400 videos. You're like, man, it's a lot of information. But we do got everything segregated in different playlists, from entrepreneurial, business, finance, grants, and stuff like that, personal finance, real estate investing. All that stuff is segregated with that. So make sure you check that out. I'm doing a video also in regards to some things with the housing market. I want to get back on a couple things with that. I did a refinance about a couple weeks ago, and I want to share the experience with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys might not be familiar with refinance, but we all have heard the information in regards to rates going up and things like that. And I also made a video a couple weeks ago telling you, listen, do not get a home right now because of inflation, hyper pricing and everything. We have all seen housing prices go up, rent prices go up. So it probably the wisest thing to purchase a new home right now, purchase a home, period, because you might get something overpriced and everything. The market corrects or anything because the rates are going up. The price may go down lower. But I'll explain to you why I did my refinance and the logic behind it. And we can all just chime and have a conversation with that. But again, you guys know what the whole point of it. We hear all the time the Fed is raising rates. The Fed raises rate because they want to curb inflation, because we know that when the rates are higher, that means the cost of borrowing is higher. Because the cost of borrowing is higher, that makes people reluctant to make purchases, because you don't want to buy a house at 8%, because the loan payments are going to be so much, so they raise it. So what that happens, you got an inventory of houses, nobody buying, price drops, market corrects, rates go down. So that's the whole thought process when the Fed increases rates. If you guys aren't familiar with that, if you are, I'm sorry about that. But I always try to make sure that everybody understands, because you hear so many terms of inflation, recession, and stuff like that. Check out the video I did also a couple weeks, maybe a month ago, recession 2022, explaining exactly what a recession is. Are we in a recession? How do we get out of recession? How did the recession start? Historical data on recession. So check that out, recession 2022. We did that about a month ago. So check that out. There's a lot of great information on Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, guys. So I want you guys to make sure you take advantage of it. Also, I think we stuck at 24,500. So if you see on this video, you see it, share it. Y'all go to the YouTube channel so we hit that 25,000 subscribers on Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. I'm finna get ready to disappear. Let me make sure I got everybody squared away. Did I answer everybody's questions? I hope I answered everybody's questions. Again, we've been streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I'm finna disappear, everybody. If you got anything to pop up later, the contact information is, again, on the YouTube channel and the Facebook page on the video on the stream. Just check it in the description section. But take care of yourself, guys. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Emotions and Money. Appreciate you guys. Be safe. Love you, and talk with you soon. Gotcha.